Hey VCHHD students, in this short video we're going to look at structuring a response for the different factors in Unit 4, Area Study 1. Just a reminder, in just under a week we have a session running online for preparing for the extended response question VCHHD. So in your SACs for the second half of the year and the exam at the end of the year, you might be asked to complete an extended response question. So these are the 8 to 10 mark questions. So definitely there'll be one in your exam at the end of the year. And often these questions are the most challenging and the questions that students typically score the lowest on for their exam at the end of the year. And so this session is designed to help you to respond effectively to these questions and to give you an edge over other students. So if you register for this session by heading to this link here or to our website, there's a link there to register. You'll receive 2 practice extended response questions sent to you prior to the session so you can complete those, and then I'll be running through the answers to those during the session, as well as going through a PDF with advice on how to analyze and link sources, break down the question, and approach structuring and writing an answer. And you'll get sent a copy of this following the session, as well as some additional questions to practice in the lead up to your SACs and the end of your exam. So if you're interested in registering, head to that link there. So in this video here, we're looking at the factors in Unit 4, and so this includes access to safe water, sanitation, poverty, inequality and discrimination, and then global distribution and marketing of tobacco, alcohol, and processed foods. And so what students often find difficult when it comes to these particular questions and factors is structuring a response, because what you typically have to do is you need to be able to link these factors to differences or similarities in health status, and burden of disease between low, middle, and high income countries such as Australia. So let's look at a couple of past exam questions to give you a sense of what these questions might look like. So this one was in 2023, and so you can see the first part of the question was just asking you to describe what sanitation is for 1 mark. And then they asked you to explain how the lack of access to basic hand washing facilities might contribute to the burden of disease for children. So for 2 marks, and we have talked about this in previous videos, I'd be making sure that you were linking into a health condition associated with lack of access to basic hand washing facilities, or lack of access to sanitation really. And so then linking that onto burden of disease. And so on the next slide, we'll have a look at a structure for a question like this. But if it's worth 2 marks, I'd just be linking to one aspect of burden of disease, so something like YLL or YLD. Then in another exam down here, they were asking you to explain how the global marketing of tobacco in low income and middle income countries might influence burden of disease. But for 4 marks, I'd be linking into 2 different health conditions and 2 aspects of burden of disease, so both YLL and YLD. So this is a type of structure that you might like to think about for questions like this. So if it's asking you, to link into burden of disease, your first sentence, it would be a good idea to link the particular factor to a health condition. So you can see down here, based on the question from 2023B, if children don't have access to hand washing facilities, they're more likely to be infected with bacteria after using the toilet, which can lead to a condition such as cholera. So you're talking about the factor and linking into a health condition. And then your second sentence is linking the health condition to burden of disease. So down here, the second sentence, this might lead to increased time spent living with this disease, or YLD, and increase the burden of disease for children associated with cholera. So obviously YLD is talking about years, lost due to living with conditions, or living with illness, disease, or injury, whereas YLL is years of life lost due to premature death. So if it was worth 4 marks, I'd be linking into another condition and then linking the second sentence into YLL. So then this was a different type of question, but still about the factors in a previous year's exam. So they gave you this data here at the start of the question. It was looking at Australia and Sierra Leone for a range of different pieces of health status information and characteristics. And then they asked you in part C of the question to use some of the information from the table on page 10 and select one difference in health status that's evident between Sierra Leone and Australia and analyze the reasons for this difference. And so this is where I think it's really important that as a student you understand the key knowledge in the course pretty well, because when it comes to differences in health status between Australia, an example, a low-income country like Sierra Leone, when they're asking you for reasons for differences between health status, this is a key type of question where you can link into some of these particular factors. And so it was worth 4 marks, so I'd be linking into two different factors, but remember you could only link it back to one difference in health status. So probably the easiest difference in health status to focus on would be life expectancy here, okay, at birth that was different, and then you could choose two different factors. So you might choose access to safe water, okay, linked to a health condition, and link that then to the difference in life expectancy, and then perhaps poverty. So in terms of structuring, okay, an answer like this, I would make sure that the first sentence, okay, is the difference in the factor between the two countries or the groups of countries that you're focusing on. So for example, down here, people in low-income countries, or you would have focused on that previous question, people in Sierra Leone, tend to have less access to safe water than people in high-income countries, or that might be Australia. And then the second sentence is linking to a health condition and the health status indicator. So then this contributes to consumption of water contaminated with disease-causing pathogens, and therefore an increased number of people in low-income countries, okay, with conditions such as cholera, which can lead to premature death and contribute to a lower life expectancy for people in low-income countries compared to people in high-income countries. Or if you were looking at that previous question, you could compare Sierra Leone with Australia. So if it was worth 4 marks, then I'd be doing a different factor, okay, but doing the same thing, linking it into a health condition and a health status indicator after you've talked about the difference in that factor between the two countries or the two groups of countries that you're focusing on. So hopefully that kind of structure helps you with these two different types of questions that often pop up when looking at these different factors in Unit 4, Area Study 1. Don't forget, you can head to YouTube and subscribe to the Health Resources Hub. If you're on YouTube at the moment, you can subscribe with the button in the bottom corner of the video there for new videos that are coming out each week during the term. There's also over 170 videos already available on our YouTube channel. We've also got our website, thehrh.net.au, where you can check out opportunities for students and teachers. And if you're a Unit 3 and 4 student, we've got our free student newsletter, which is coming out with some resources for Unit 4 in the next couple of days. So you can head to our website and scroll to the bottom and sign up to that. Our social media links there if you'd like to follow us and get alerts to our videos and other opportunities, and also our email if you'd like to get in touch. Thanks so much.